you'll see that it does not go well. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. That didn't work at all. This video's a mess. Hello my bookworms, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney. Today we're gonna be playing my Spin the Bottle TBR game for November. So hey, what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. I have a couple things I need to talk to you about. First and foremost, I already filmed this video. I already filmed the entirety of it out of focus. Out of focus. So I already know how this game is gonna go, but you don't, so that's okay. Previously, the footage was only focused on the painting behind me, which I guess would have been okay because everyone seems to love that painting. It's a screensaver on my frame TV that I bought on Etsy for like $2, by the way. But anyways, I'm going to be refilming the majority of this video. Some parts of this video might be out of focus, and that's because I have to splice in some footage from the previous edition of filming this because I'm not gonna fake how things went, and pretending would just be a lot of work anyways. So some parts might be out of focus and I'm sorry about it, but I hope you can still enjoy the video, so let's move on. I beg of myself. A couple other housekeeping things that I want to go over is, first and foremost, if you hear a ambient spraying noise, it's because for the last 3 hours there's been a construction guy outside on our street doing whatever it is that he's doing, and he hasn't stopped. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. This video's a mess. Also, too, you will notice that I have replaced the +1 bottle again to have the story time prompt because November, not only is it my birthday month, and Caleb's. I'm on the 18th and Caleb is the 25th, fun fact. But November is also NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And all in October, I have actually plotted and continued to outline my story, which is really exciting. I'm really proud of myself for picking it back up and getting over some hurdles and fears that I was having. So in November, I plan on doing NaNoWriMo. I replaced the +1 bottle space with the Storytime pie so that if I land on it, I won't have to pick a book for that spin, and the time spent that I would have spent reading a book, I can spend writing my story. If that makes sense. I wonder if there's a better way to describe it because that seems long-winded, but like that's what makes sense to me. So bada bing, bada boom. So the footage for this video will be sort of a mixed bag. Some of it will be out of focus, some of it will be in focus, and we're all gonna have a great time with the whole thing. Because if we don't, then I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. Am I already having one? Maybe. And moving into the game, the first thing we do is look back at the previous month's Spin the Bottle TBR, and if I completed it, I will be able to pick a reward out of my reward mug. And this month, we're not even gonna do that part of the game because last month, no one could tell me anything. No one could tell me what to do. I could not be constrained by a set TBR. I was reading whatever I wanted to, and it was good. I had an okay reading month, but I definitely did not complete the Spin the Bottle TBR. Theoretically, I could use all of my saved up reward prompts and probably complete my Spin the Bottle TBR if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna take the L for October and we're gonna move on to November. Oh my god, did they just finish? I don't know if you could hear the silence now, but now it's finally quiet outside, which is great. But since we don't have to choose out of my reward mug, we can go on into the game and place a cardboard colored paper around every single spot on the board, which are all submitted to me from my patrons over in the greenhouse. That is linked down below in the description if you ever want to come join us over there. I run a book club, we do live reading sprints every week, readathons, movie nights, and it's all a wonderful chaotic time. We would love to have you. So let's go on to spin number 1 and see what my patrons have chosen for me. Of course, I already know because I already played this game. But what I get for this first spin, I'm not redoing. This one makes me nervous. It is read the first book that shows up on your Goodreads timeline that is actually on your TBR. Having that stipulation that the book has to be actually on my physical TBR or my want to read shelf is important because there's probably going to be some books that I have no interest in showing up. So let's go ahead and screen record and see what Goodreads has on the timeline for us. Okay. Nothing so far. Nothing. See, this is what I mean. Like, if I didn't have that stipulation of like wanting to actually read it or owning it already, oh, I own My Year of Rest and Relaxation. So technically I might have to choose that one, but I never actually put it on my want to read shelf. So just for fun, I'm gonna keep scrolling, just in case. I feel like these are a lot of the same books. Not a lot is showing up. Oh, already read that one. Like, I also own House Across the Lake by Rylee Sager, and I feel like I would be more inclined to choose that one over My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I'm definitely in a heavy fantasy mood right now, and sort of like a thriller mood. That's what I'm gravitating towards. A lit fic moment of My Year of Rest and Relaxation, dear God, does not sound good to me at the moment. So, okay, House Across the Lake, perhaps. I'm waiting for one to actually show know that like I already, A Study in Drowning. Okay, so this is the first book that I have actually marked as want to read. This was in my most anticipated fall releases video. Maybe I will do this one. So basically what I'm doing for the spin, quality switch, yeah, is give myself the option of choosing either A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed or House Across the Lake by Rylee Sager. I think it would be really interesting if I chose House Across the Lake because I had previously read Home Before Dark and did not like it, but I read The Only One Left by the same author for a second chance author vlog and actually really liked it. So House Across the Lake could be a very interesting one for me to choose to see if Mr. Sager can stay in good graces with me. And then A Study in Drowning might be really fun for me to read to put me in a mental space for my fantasy book that I'm trying to write. It's sort of like a fairy tale fantasy vibe, and I've heard that it has really good atmosphere and the story is really fun, so both of them are really solid options and I don't know which one I will pick. Hopefully I get to one or both of them. But let's go on to spin number 2. On start a new series, which is terrifying because I have so many series going on already, and my immediate response is to use one of the reward prompts that I have saved up so that I don't have to start a new series. But then I realized that series are also just duologies, and this series in particular has the second one coming out I think on December 26th, and so I'm actually going to choose this one. This book has showed up quite a bit on fall recommendation videos. Everyone has been loving the atmosphere and the storytelling, so I'm going to put it on my TBR. It's going to be Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I have read a book previously by this author and really did love the lyrical writing and the atmosphere that she was able to put into it. So I'm really excited to read something new by her, especially this one that is a enemies to lovers fantasy filled with hope, heartbreak, and unparalleled power of love. It says, when two young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell in a war between gods to seal their fate forever. And I love the usage of the word seal their fate because I know the UK cover has the two main characters holding letters and you seal letters, you know? I get it. So yeah, the second book actually comes out in December. This one has been the talk of the town, so I am going to choose it. And that being said, we can go on to spin number 3. Spin number 3, we got Juno pick. In a minute, I'm gonna roll the footage of me actually trying to do this challenge, but first let me just tell you about our sweet baby girl, Juno. She is our cat who is motivated by one thing and one thing only, and that is her fancy feast that she gets every day between 4 and 5 p.m. Not a minute later or she will let you know about it. I honestly couldn't even tell you how many flavors, types, forms of treats that I've tried to get her to try to like enrich her life. She wants nothing to do with it. So you will see in the footage that I tried to tape numbers to my fingers corresponding with the choices that I am having her choose between, and then whatever number she nudged was going to be the one that I was going to choose. But again, you'll see that it does not go well. So then I use her kibble, which she also wants nothing to do with. So then we have a guest appearance and you'll be very excited. That didn't work at all. I gotta come up with something else. Choose one. Please? Avi's prepared to jump in and help. Okay. Come on. Obviously, Juno wanted absolutely nothing to do with me or what I was trying to accomplish, but Avi stepped in, saved the day. Avi will eat anything, except her own kibble sometimes. But Avi ended up choosing Leave the World Behind. Last time that Avi chose a book for me, it was actually 5 stars. So hopefully that is the case with this one once again. It is a very short thriller, which I'm actually quite excited about. I think it's being made into a movie as well, which is great. I want to read it before I watch it anyways. It says, in the confined space of a single home, this remarkable novel takes on some of the hardest questions of our time about class, race, and who we become in moments of growing uncertainty. I know Daryan in particular has told me that I would really like it, and she's been wanting me to read it for quite a while, so I am really excited that I got it on this TBR. And let's go on to spin number 4. We landed on story time. I spent so much time making the cute little story time pie, and it's all become worth it. So for this spin, I'm not gonna have to choose a book. I can spend the time that it would take me to read a book. I can use that time to write my story. So phenomenal. Hopefully I can win NaNoWriMo. I'm really nervous about it, but we're gonna give it our best shot. And that actually might help a little bit. So nothing chosen for this one. Let's go on to spin number 5. We got read a book that has chapter titles. And to be honest, the only book that was remotely on my immediate TBR for this month in November that had chapter titles was actually Divine Rivals. And I already chose that for the second spin. So I am actually going to use a reward prompt that I have saved up, which is a book club or buddy read, which means I'm going to be adding The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrian Young on this TBR. This is the buddy read pick for my November book club. And if you were wondering, the main book club pick for my book club this month is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. So excited to read it alongside my bookworms. How my book club works is that this main pick is going to get a live show discussion, and then the buddy read pick gets an exclusive vlog from me every single month. So I'm really excited to be vlogging this one exclusively for them as well, because the previous book that I read by Adrian Young was Spells for Forgetting, which, if you know, it is one of my favorite books ever now. Like, made it in my top 10 of last year, and I think about it so often that I cannot wait to read another book by her. And I haven't read the actual synopsis, but I read the little blurbs about this story, and it sounds like it has the same elements that Spells for Forgetting had, but obviously it's going to be a different story. So I'm just over the moon. I'm so excited. And this one says, a woman risks everything to end her family's centuries-old curse and solve her mother's disappearance while finding love in this mesmerizing novel. It has romance, mystery, and a touch of the impossible. I'm just super excited to be reading another book from her. I need to chill out though. I honestly need to try and not put expectations on it because I don't want to be underwhelmed. I need to chill out. I need to chill out. And that was the last spin, so now the game is over, but the other things that we do at the end of the video is go over other books that I hope to get to this next month and do my Greenhouse Compendium pick. So there are really only 2 other main books that I really hope to add to this already kind of chunky TBR. And this first one is my book club pick for last month in October. I usually read the previous month's book club pick the first week or so of the next month so that it's really fresh in my mind for the live discussion. And last month's book club was Rouge by Mona Awad. I'm so excited to read from this author again. I've loved everything I've read. Really nervous about this one though, because it definitely has had a mixed bag of opinions so far. So I'm excited to see where I end up. And the last book that I want to put on my TBR is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I'm trying to read the whole Throne of Glass series before the 3rd Crescent City book comes out, so this is next on the docket, and it is a chunker. Not gonna lie, it's a big one, but I'm really excited. I'm having a great time. And now we gotta go into the Greenhouse Compendium pick. If you don't know, the Greenhouse Compendium is a collection of suggestions from my patrons, and they are books that they are recommending to me, or their favorite books that they just want to see me read, because this book also gets its own exclusive reading vlog. Usually it's tied in with the book club buddy reading vlog too. And obviously I've already picked which book it's going to be, so we're gonna cue the blurry footage. I hope it's small, or at least one that I've heard of. Oh, I dropped it. I mean, like, I could probably read this one very quickly. We got Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which is kind of fun because hockey is starting up again. I have never read a sports romance. Not a one. Maybe now's the time. I mean, it looks like it is the time. Okay, yeah, okay. Not like I have a choice, but we're gonna be doing Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This one is about Anastasia, who has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. She's a competitive figure skater and has a full college scholarship thanks to her place on the Maple Hills skating team. And our other main character is Nathan Hawkins, who has never had a problem he couldn't solve. Captain of the Maple Hills Titans, he knows the responsibility of keeping the hockey team on the ice rests on his shoulders. When a misunderstanding results in the 2 teams sharing a rink and Anastasia's partner gets hurt in the aftermath, Nate finds himself swapping his stick for tights and one scary coach for an even scarier one. Previously, I had no idea that he was going to actually join her in figure skating. I thought it was just going to be them 2 rivaling for rink time. That adds a whole nother dynamic that I'm so excited for. I actually really love that. And honestly, it's probably best case scenario so that I have have a light, fluffy, quick-paced, steamy romance to throw in to break up my fantasy reads throughout the month. So I am happy with the decision. I'm happy about it, and I think that brings us to the end of the video. For real this time. I think I'm actually gonna be done filming. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still watching and you don't know what to say, leave me the watermelon emoji down below in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.